Hi, my name is Jeannie, and this is my podcast, Dreams to Reality. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is under Jeannie Hermoso. I'm Mystic Jeannie 88 on TikTok, and I'll be sharing the screen briefly. So I just really, when I'm inspired to make videos, I really like it because what you call that, it's just inspiring. So I've been taking a lot of like courses on Udemy. I'm always the eternal student. I always like to learn more. And sometimes like I happen to find like teachers that are really good at explaining really complex subjects. And sometimes I just get that aha moment like, of course I understand this, but the way they explain it is so amazing and so simple that I just want to share it with you. So let's see if I can share the video, and I am going to be, so I'm on the screen right now. So we're gonna present right now. Okay. So I took this course on Udemy, which is it's the Law of Attraction's Missing Instructions. It's by Trevor Emden, and I purchased a lot of his books and his other courses as well. He's amazing the way he just explains concepts that are really relatable, and the way he just explains it is makes sense. So he said, who are we? So who are we really? And the way he explained it is for me just amazing. And he said that, we are not our body, you know, because our body changes over time. So I do remember this a few years ago. I met like our next door neighbor. I mean, they were older. They used to come by when my grandmother was still alive, and then after a few years of not seeing us, they eventually saw us, and then they were just shocked. They said like, "Oh, I haven't seen you in years, and you were, this tiny, this small." And I think we were like young. Um, and then having not seen us for years, this neighbor said like, "You used to be very small, like, you were like shorter, like, and now you guys are so tall, like you're not like the same kids and stuff." So it just made me realize that, yeah, we are not our body, because our body ages. We are not the same as we were when we were 2 years old. We were not the same as when we were 10 years old or teenagers. Our body ages as we get older in our 20s, 30s, and more. Um, we just have maybe more physical changes in our body. And sometimes, like, when we look in the mirror as well, we realize like, oh my God, like I've aged so much. Or maybe like you're one of those lucky people that don't really age that much. But um so obviously we're not our body, because our body changes over time. And if you ask yourself like, what age are you? Most of the time, although you can see it in the mirror, you feel that you are not that age that you see in the mirror. Of course, your body's going to let you know that you have, probably if you're older, you have more aches and pains and ailments that you didn't have when you were younger. But if you notice deep inside, you feel that you are ageless. And I just really want you to keep an open mind about this. So we are also not our thoughts, because if you can imagine, I read somewhere that we have 60,000 thoughts, I think, per day. And that's a lot. And thoughts come and go. Thoughts are fleeting. It's like when you really, really observe it, we are not our thoughts, because our thoughts are in and out all the time. They change all the time. And sometimes we have thoughts that are fleeting, and thoughts like that doesn't even make sense. And also, we are not our feelings or emotions as well. Um, Especially when we're in a state of anger or other like lower emotions, like sometimes we erupt, like, and then have you noticed as well, like, oh, that wasn't like me to erupt like that, to be in anger and in a state of anger. And then when that emotion cools over or it just like dissipates, you realize, like, oh, what did I just do? So basically, we are also not our emotions. We're also not our memories as well. Although we have memories and we claim that they're our memories, but most of the time, they're just, we're not even aware anymore of what happened in the past. Like our past, most of it is like unconscious as well. We're not always remembering everything that happened in our past. And also, we're not our personality, especially like me. I went through a lot of personality changes. Of course, you're not the same personality, or you don't have the same personality that you had when you were younger. Like, of course, when we were a toddler, we have like the terrible twos or threes personality. And I was outgoing when I was a young kid. I made friends and then I became shy. I had a shy personality in when I was teenager, feeling awkward, and in my 20s as well. Then in my 30s, I started becoming more, you know, an extrovert again. So therefore, I'm not my personality. And notice yourself as well. Of course, you are not the same personality as when you were a little kid up to now. There's must be a lot of changes. And I said as well, we are not our age, because if you really look at it, when you look in the mirror, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, like I've gotten so old. Like, is this like, I thought it was only yesterday that I was this young. And now when I look in the mirror, it's like, it doesn't connect. And it doesn't connect because we don't feel any different. We may look at the external picture of ourselves, like, and like, oh wow, I gained weight, or like, oh, like I have more wrinkles, or I look different. But deep inside, if you really notice, we don't feel any difference. And the reason being because we are the awareness. We are not the body. We are the soul. We are the spirit inhabiting the body. We're pure awareness and pure consciousness. So we're actually spiritual beings having a human experience. So we are energetic beings stuck in this body for this moment in time. In the grand scheme of things, this is just a blink of an eye if you look at it through the universal, like how old the universe is. So for the moment, we are stuck in this body and feeling the thoughts, feeling the emotions, having the memories. But that's an aspect of who we are, but that's not really who we are in the grand scheme of things. We are the observer. We are the awareness. We are the spirit. We are the consciousness. And I really love this because for a while, like I struggled to explain, like, how do we explain who we are, like to people in a very simple manner? And the way Trevor Emden just explained it just makes so much sense, because like he does it like, you know, and do check out his course on Udemy. It's really good. I highly recommend it. So the way it's just very systematic, the way he makes it like very objective. Okay. So he also mentioned something about time and space. So actually, like when you think about it, like the scientists believe that during the Big Bang, there was really actually nothingness. So meaning time and space existed after the Big Bang. Um, and can you imagine, like, it's literally like after that Big Bang, suddenly everything like in our surroundings existed and seemingly out of nothing. But if you really think about the grand scheme of things, it's probably, the how there's an ebb and a flow. There's creation, uncreation, creation, uncreation. There's sleep, wake, and then there's death. There's death is the death, and then there's the life, death, life, death, life. That's the cycle of life. There's rhythm, and the Big Bang is just that cycle of life where everything is in the expansion or the existence stage. And most likely it came from, rest. So time and space started to exist during the Big Bang. But if you notice, like, time is relative. So that should be time is relative. We don't experience it the same. It's within us as a human being. So what it means is that time is relative. And I think there was a experiment also a few years ago where there were twins. One was on Earth and the other one was in space. I think it was stuck for over a year in the ISS, International Space Station. And then they noticed that the one that stayed on planet Earth, the twin, actually was older than the twin that left, because the way, like, he was in outer space, and the speed in which he was traveling, like, his aging actually slowed down. And so therefore, even time is relative. We don't experience time the same. And I know that you've observed this as well. So I have, like, a loved one, like someone very close to my heart, and he's always late. Like, he's always late because he just he just perceives time in a different way. It's just slow, slow. And then my brother's the same way too. He's, like, very slow. His experience of time is different from our experience of time. And me, like, I can fluctuate between slow and fast. But yeah, so even time is relative, not people. If you notice people that going, like, 0 to 60, like, they're very fast paced, like, their time is, like, goes by fast. And then some people, they're, like, just slow pokes, it seems like time is, like, slowing down for them. So therefore, time is relative as well. And so time and space is actually an illusion, and we need time so we can experience space. So we need the concept of time in order to navigate the space. And at the same time, we need space in order to, you know, navigate time as well. And that is just mind blowing, that everything seemingly is relative or subjective. And if you look at it, the grand scheme of things, everything is an illusion. It's like, a product of our mind. So, and another point that he pointed out, which was really amazing, because I've been reading a lot about quantum physics and about, how particles work, and, like, it's really amazing at the subatomic level that there's different laws that are in place. So basically, Einstein discovered that energy is equals to mass times the square root of the speed of light, or mc squared. So what it means is that energy or matter is actually made of energy. So it means that matter didn't create energy. Matter comes out of energy, and matter is made of energy. And matter or energy can neither be created nor destroyed. So the thing is, matter in its form right now, it may go through several phases or states of matter, but at its core, its energy is just transmuted or changed from one state to another. It's like, let's say water turns into steam or vapor, but then it doesn't really, like, disappear. Given the right circumstances, it will turn into maybe liquid again, or maybe will turn into ice. So everything, matter or energy, can just be transformed into another state or another phase. So it can never really be destroyed. And so what that means is that everything is already existing. Everything exists already, but the things that we don't see physically right now, they exist in a state of potential. So everything is already in potential. So what that means is like the seed contains the potential to become an orchard, like an apple orchard. So the seed is, if you, and the way he explained it is, if you actually like cut the apple and look at the seed and like just, what you call that, you open up the seed, you will not find the forest there. You will not find the apple orchard there because it exists as a energetic potential. So it's a potential, it's energy. So how does that relate to manifestation? So matter is actually made of energy, right? And thoughts and emotions are energy too. So, with our thoughts and our intention and our emotions linked to that intention, we can actually turn the potential or the desire or that thought emotion into reality, into matter. And that's how, like, it really works. So it's very amazing, like the way that it's just explained this way, that we really have the potential to turn our desire, which is energy, because thoughts are energy, right? They have energy. And we can turn our thoughts and desire, which are just right now a potential, but with focus and attention, we can actually turn it into matter. We can turn it into things eventually over time. We make it like denser and denser. The more we focus on it, the more we bring down that energy, potential energy, bring it down to this reality. So anyway, I just find that the explanation so amazing, and I really, really enjoy like having these talks. Thank you for watching.